Here's a refined and engaging translation with proper pronoun usage. Minus. Return to the immortal path. Regressor John, chapter 420. Confrontation 3. I trembled as I emptied my mind, feeling the intricate shape of the star system and the positions of the surrounding worlds. There's nothing I can deduce at this moment. I needed to stay vigilant, but I shouldn't overload my thoughts. If I dwelled too long, an unseen force might awaken, and I wouldn't know which entity could peer into my mind. Thank you for the invaluable information. Yes, then you may go now. Once the white cloud sage released the acceleration of consciousness, I sensed that I was permitted to return whenever I wished. May I return later to seek answers to some questions? I asked. She seemed to contemplate my words before responding. Before you can have a private meeting with me, stabilize those disasters at least. She's referring to the monsters and Kang Min-hee. I nodded thoughtfully, replying, understood. I'll do my utmost. Very well. We shall meet again later. Whoosh. In that instant, I swiftly regained my consciousness from Heavenly Lotus Mountain, where the white cloud sage resided. Suts. Opening my eyes, I found myself back in the previous scenario. Goo. Dark energy surged as Kang Min-hee descended from above. If Jung Myung-hoon and Kim Young-hoon unite their strengths, they can reach speeds comparable to the Stargate. The other comrades were also capable enough to hold their own. With the power level certified by the White Cloud Sage, I was at the Stargate level, so I should be able to buy some time against the approaching Kang Min-hee. Sriyang. I drew the colorless glass sword from my domain and stepped boldly in front of my comrades. Kurong. Dark clouds enveloped the sky, and from the center, space began to warp as a grey sphere manifested. This phenomenon was the outer realm of the netherworld forcibly merging with reality. But that was just the beginning. Kyuwon. Was it the sound of a rifle firing? The explosion of a grenade? The roar of a mountain being obliterated by magic? Such explosive sounds echoed from within. Kyuwon. Yet instinctively I recognized that these weren't mere detonations, they were the sounds of heartbeats. Yes, they were unmistakably the beats of someone's heart. Kyuwon. As the third heartbeat resonated, the grey sphere turned pitch black. Swich. Black smoke billowed from the darkened sphere. At that sight, a chill coursed through my spine. Insane. What appeared as smoke were tiny particles of dust. Each of those specks was at least a spirit of considerable power. Kyuwon. The fourth heartbeat reverberated. Cracks formed in the sphere, and it seemed something within was striving to break free. With a serious demeanor, I proclaimed, Brother Young-hoon. Jung Myung-hoon. Everyone, please head to the subspace first. I must have misjudged. The Kang Min-hee confronting us now was not the same as the one I had faced in the 18th round. Back then she had just reached the Stargate level, comparable to my current self. The most formidable Kang Min-hee I had encountered was from the timeline 1,000 years later. The true power of the Stargate, which required Jiang to confront her directly, was utterly terrifying. Thus at this moment, I was not yet facing her from 1,000 years in the future, but rather around 500 years ahead. I seemed to be under the delusion that I could challenge Kang Min-hee. What are you saying, Yoon-hyun? How can you abandon your comrades? Jung Myung-hoon exclaimed. We can all manage, Kim Young-hoon added. I'm ordering you to leave now. I interrupted, my voice rising in urgency. Contrary to my expectations, as someone who had reached the Stargate level, I understood the gravity of the situation, while my comrades still operating at the combined level appeared unaware. At least Kim Yoon, whose consciousness had undergone explosive growth and whose awareness was beyond the combined level, seemed to grasp the weight of my words. She nodded, cold sweat beating on her forehead, while Hongbeam gazed into the sphere with a dazed expression. Let's heed what he says. Everyone, Kim Yoon urged. As she clutched her head and gasped, Kim Young-hoon and Jung Myung-hoon exchanged glances. Their expressions darkened as they asked, not completely oblivious to the situation, are you all right? I can manage with all my means as long as you're not present, I reassured them. All right, Jung Myung-hoon replied, determination in his eyes. After agreeing, Jung Myung-hoon shared his strength with Kim Young-hoon, and they soared toward the direction where the black spirits had fled, transformed into golden lightning. How could I have forgotten that the Reaper of the Netherworld had intervened? Am I a fool, Seo Yoon-hyun? I cursed myself inwardly. Kyuwon. Crack. Finally, I gazed at the elongated hand that burst forth from the sphere. Goo. I could only surmise. This iteration of Kang Min-hee would be stronger than any I had encountered before. For she. Crack. Zezu. At last you've arrived. Due to the intervention of the Netherworld Reaper, 500 years after our arrival in this world, she had already surpassed the power of her 1,000-year-later self. Whispers. An endless murmur echoed in my ears. Incomprehensible mutterings. Resentment wailing cries, prayer screams. The voices of the dead poured forth from a single source. The Lord of the Spirits, who appeared leading countless spirits, thousands, tens of thousands, billions, trillions. It was the voice of the ghostly Holy Mother, Kang Min-hee. Whispers. Kyugugik. I realized that her whispers created an immense wave, and the power of this wave was akin to the attacks of the combined level masters. It's comparable to the laughter of the Stargate masters I encountered at the Thunderstar. Fortunately, I had fortified myself since that time, allowing me to remain standing. A black ghost elongated and whispering endlessly while tearing at her own head. Her head stretched severally, merging with the darkness, her body shrouded in dark robes, blue tears cascading from her eyes, a ghostly figure. I called out to the ghostly Holy Mother, Kang Min-hee. Here I am. Whoosh. Upon my words, her gaze locked onto me. Kyugugugik. With just her look, the ground around me decayed under the weight of dark energy, and spirits began to manifest everywhere. Yet I met her gaze without flinching, forcing a bitter smile. Young, we have much to discuss that we couldn't cover before, don't we? I said, raising the colorless glass sword and taking my stance. Let's share it now. In the next heartbeat, Kang Min-hee stood before me. Kwawawa. She swung her arm down. Had it been the old me, I wouldn't have reacted and would have been buried deep in the ground by that strike. Instead, I deftly deflected her touch with my sword and propelled myself skyward. In an instant, the blue sky drew near, and I climbed until the vast expanse of human territory became a distant sight below. I can see Chunryan Sane. I cast a glance at the heavenly lotus mountain, where the white cloud sage had been, then turned my attention back to Kang Min-hee, who had followed me. Zeziop. She opened her mouth wide. Her once groomed blue teeth had transformed into monstrous fangs, sharp and jagged. Your teeth remain healthy, I remarked, trying to lighten the mood. Crack. As Kang Min-hee bit down on my colorless glass sword, I attempted to joke. Of course, she didn't seem inclined to reciprocate, using her neck strength to pull me downwards, plunging towards the ground from that height. Whoosh. As if a meteor were entering the atmosphere, flames engulfed the area surrounding us. It's going to hurt a bit. Sorry. Boom. I twisted the colorless glass sword lodged in her mouth amidst the scorching heat. Crack. With a few sword sounds, the direction of the twisted colorless glass sword shifted within her mouth. Simultaneously, the colorless glass sword wedged between her teeth cleanly decapitated Kang Min-hee. Kya! A horrifying ghostly scream echoed, resonating beyond the human territory into the realm of the Yepta tribe. Gurgle, gurgle. Black liquid flowed from where her head had been severed, and to my astonishment, Kang Min-hee sprouted two heads. It was an amusing sight, but instead of marveling, I seized the opportunity to leap onto her body while she was momentarily stunned. Whoop. She writhed, attempting to shake me off, but with her human form's arms firmly in my grasp, escaping was nearly impossible. Kya! Another upper body emerged from her back. This new upper body aimed its horns at me, but it was already too late. I unleashed the main body with 20 heads and, utilizing the technique of the heavenly root, added the weight of my domain to it, making it as heavy as a continent. Quite hhh. A fissure tore through the entirety of the ruined human territory, causing tectonic upheaval. I felt a twinge of guilt for the neighboring Yepta tribe, but surely earthquakes were wreaking havoc in their territory too. Apologies. I didn't have the means to evacuate you all. I raised my sword toward the writhing darkness beneath my feet, offering a brief apology to the Yepta tribe and the surrounding races that were just beginning to evacuate. With one swift motion. From a high position to a low one. From an elevated stance targeting a humble goal. In an instant. In mere moments, the strike of the mountain heart after the heart of the void exceeded even the speed of light. Boom. Approximately 500,000 li of human territory was once again cleaved in half by my sword. The sound struggled to keep up with the speed and only resonated afterward. Yet I maintained a stoic expression, distancing myself from the ghostly Holy Mother without hesitation after landing the blow. Ooh. The spirits sang. The tectonic shifts created throughout the human territory as I pierced the ghostly Holy Mother. From the cracks in the earth, dark energy and ghostly energy began to rise. Kyugugugugoo. Damn. I muttered under my breath, realizing the true nature of that dark energy. Why were humans considered the worst among the 6 great races? Transforming living spirits into elixirs was not an exclusive evil of humanity. Many races exploited slave races, and their mindset was riddled with invasion and plunder. Hypocritically, the Jangmup tribe and the Chinook tribe. In terms of grotesqueness, the Jayanhe tribe. In terms of ugliness, the Baya tribe. In terms of combat prowess, the Tuti tribe outshone humans. Yet despite all this, humanity bore the title of the worst. Why was that? The truth lay in quantity. Among countless celestial beings, humans appeared ordinary at first glance. But humans were a race that could covet others' possessions, even when they weren't needed. Humans could kill without necessity, yearn for excessive comfort, and pursue a life of luxury far beyond their needs. The power of their desires surpassed even the combat strength of the Tuti tribe. The ugliness of their desires eclipsed that of the Baya tribe. The grotesqueness of their desires outshone those of the Jayanhe tribe, and the hypocrisy of their desires surpassed that of the Jangmup and Big tribes. Countless races were captured and experimented upon within the territory of humans, becoming elixirs in the process. So where did all the spirits of those countless races vanish to? Kyugugugugoo. Why did humans forsake fertile lands, instead constructing a heavenly path to live in ostentatious grace? Ooh. Ooh. Ah. We are. It hurts, it hurts. Don't do that, don't do that. 500,000 years after the creation of the heavenly realm. During those long 500,000 years, the grotesque nature of humanity, which had slaughtered and consumed countless races, finally came to light. Yugugugug. I stood at the base of the human territory. Observing the endless spirits flowing from the ghostly Holy Mother, I felt a surge of disbelief. When humans plundered other races, they extracted their essence and core to create elixirs, utilizing blood and skin as talismans and bones and organs as tools of magic. Even their souls were devoured by sorcerers, draining their spirit energy with the remnants tossed away like refuse beneath the heavenly realm. Thus, even if the spirits were aggrieved, they couldn't become vengeful spirits due to their drained power. Even if they gradually attempted to regain their strength, the other spirits falling endlessly from above consumed one another's energy in a desperate struggle for strength. In a land where vengeful spirits found it difficult to enter the netherworld due to resentment and lack of power, they endlessly fought, vying for energy. The ground beneath the heavenly realm was nothing more than humanity's refuse pit. Yet countless vengeful spirits who had been oppressed and tortured by humans stirred, reclaiming their strength through Kang Minhee's power. No, to be precise, Kang Minhee was merely a conduit. I sensed that from somewhere deep within, she was harnessing strength and channeling it to the spirits. Humans, we will kill, let's be together, it hurt. We will make you feel the same as us. As the vengeful spirits, sacrificed to humanity, regained their strength, they all reached at least the level of a master class. I gazed up at Kang Minhee, who had effortlessly amplified her power over the spirits. Q. Spirits numbering in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands flowed toward her, causing her form to expand. Her body, initially the size of 10, now surpassed 40, reaching an astonishing 4 li. Seeing her increasingly chaotic form, I couldn't help but let out a bitter laugh. Damn humans. Quawawa. Her massive hand came crashing down where I stood. I completely abandoned any thought of stalling for time against her. I must flee. The form of the Ghost King with 20 heads was utterly useless before her, who commanded countless spirits. Even the spirits that had initially recoiled at my presence now reached out madly toward me as Kang Minhee grew ever larger. As if to merge into one. Apologies, but being near you would make it uncomfortable for my lady. See why. I dodged the black hand swooping down upon me like a net covering the sky and witnessed the human territory, now completely engulfed in darkness, transforming into a realm of vengeful spirits. Whoosh. It was a horrific sight, but I began to flee, utilizing all the energy of the Santiagic to evade her grasp. Stating that my energy was at the Stargate level meant that the size of my energy was at the initial level of the Stargate. Yet, even with that, I had no hope of victory against her, for she had fully embraced the filth of humanity, and was now at the mid-level of the Stargate. Flashes. I unleashed every available means to escape, employing gliding techniques, dodging techniques, space-shifting techniques, and sword flight techniques. And the darkness that swathed the human territory began to pursue me. Q. Isn't this something even Jang-ik couldn't stop? I broke out in a cold sweat as I glanced up at the encroaching darkness of the ghostly Holy Mother that threatened to consume the territory of other races. Rumbling. Black lightning flickered, and from within, dark spirits erupted, sweeping through one of the neighboring races of humans, the Bite Gat tribe. Q. Countless disciples of the Suziang system. And as always, the celestial beings that birthed the Shin tribe. Though humans were more severe, no celestial race was without sin. Those tribes had their own share of massacres and invasions. And the countless spirits of those they had invaded were once again drawn into the darkness of the ghostly Holy Mother to gain strength. Kerrung. I watched as the power of the ghostly Holy Mother expanded, accompanied by the sound of black thunder. This is madness. I felt breathless. Each time she devoured a race, the size of the darkness grew. While it didn't shift as dramatically as when she consumed the spirits of humanity, it was clear she grew stronger with each race she absorbed. It was no wonder Kang Minhee had swallowed 1/50 of the power of the heavenly path 1,000 years later. And now she had already acquired power that exceeded her 1,000-year later self, having met the chief judge during the early stages of her rampage. The White Cloud Sage. I might need to summon Jang-ik's main body, not just a fragment. I turned back with a look of disbelief. Just then, a colossal hand emerged from the darkness, reaching out towards me as if transcending space itself. Before I could react, with a swift motion due to the spatial manipulation of the Stargate, her hand struck me, sending me tumbling across the territory of one of the celestial races. Cough, haw. Drip drop. Blood seeped from my mouth. It healed quickly, yet the stark difference between the ghostly Holy Mother and me was painfully evident. However, I was more concerned about the massive storm of darkness that was still advancing. Kang Minhee. In the instant she struck me, I heard her voice clearly. Help me. It was a plea that only I, being both celestial and grounded, could comprehend. I should have fled the moment I regained my senses. I stared at Kang Minhee, my eyes wide, a mix of shock and determination. Woo. Once again, Kang Minhee approached, annihilating another celestial being. She would reach me in about 100 seconds. Kang Minhee. I called her name, pressing my parched lips together in desperation. And the answer came from beside me. So that's her name, Seo Duwu. I unleashed the technique of the broken peak. 22 seconds. I immediately activated the technique of Daynok against that voice I didn't want to hear. Minus. This version ensures proper pronoun usage while maintaining an engaging narrative. If you need any further adjustments, just let me know.